Yeah, most people, when you say you live in Bahrain or the Middle East, they say, how is that for a a Western woman in the summer? And actually, it's amazing.
So welcome back to Carter in the Car, and today my special guest is Martina Kindt from Belgium. Welcome, Martina.
Thank you so much, Carter. I'm so happy to be here today.
You're most welcome. Now, I know nothing about you, which is great, because I can just ask you questions and learn about you as we go. Because most of the guests of course I know them, so tell me, so you're from Belgium. How long have you been living in Bahrain?
So we came with the company in 2014.
Okay.
And I briefly returned in 2016 for a couple of months to Belgium.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I got to Belgium, I was like, oh, nah. Let me return to Bahrain, to the sunshine, the palm trees, the beaches, and
Yeah. So I can hear that you're Flemish-speaking Belgian. Which part of Belgium are you from?
So I was born and raised in Kortrijk, as we would say in French.
Yes.
Which is a small town, like 5 kilometers from the French border, and actually 10 minutes drive from Lille.
So you're a French-speaking Belgian?
I was raised in both languages. My father was actually French-speaking,
Okay.
and my mother was Flemish. So.
Okay. So it's always a complicated, discussion in Belgium. So what would you say your mother tongue was?
I would say that it was actually more Flemish than French. But the nice thing in Belgium, at least in the Flemish part, is that when you are going to a good school and you are 18, you speak 4 languages fluently.
Amazing. That's amazing.
So if you are a little bit dynamic and then you pick up 1 or 2 more on the road, then you end up speaking 5 or 6 languages, which is amazing.
That's amazing. I love that. So you speak French, Flemish, English and German?
Some German and Italian and some Spanish.
Amazing. That's awesome.
I'm trying Arabic,
Okay.
but that's not coming easily to me. I don't know why.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yes.
Especially the local Khaliji dialect.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'll get there.
Yeah. So now what brought you to Bahrain in the first place?
So I was actually the owner and founder of Bell Helmets. And in 2014 we decided to relocate our manufacturing setup from China to Bahrain.
Okay. Any particular reason for that?
Well, as you very well know, the royal family is involved in Formula One through the family office and sovereign fund Mumtalakat.
Yes.
And they are owner of McLaren. So I had the tremendous privilege of meeting some very important people of Bahrain, inclusive of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince.
Yes.
And when I got to talk with him, Bahrain was really not on the radar or not on our minds. And then it was like an eye-opener having a discussion with His Excellency. And in the end, he said, you know what, Martin, I think you need to come and check out Bahrain because it will grow on you. And actually it did.
Nice. So at that stage, you met him outside of Bahrain, the Crown Prince. Yeah, okay.
I met him, I think I was introduced to him at I can't remember, but I think it was the Canadian race in Montreal.
Yeah. So Bell Helmets, now I was chatting with a friend of mine a few months ago and he said to me, did you know that these special Formula One helmets were made in Bahrain? I said, no, I had no idea. And then we met you, came across you. So what is particular about your helmets? Tell me, I know nothing about Formula One helmets, so...
Well, that's a question that I can either answer in two words or I can rant on for an hour.
Okay.
But for people that don't know anything about helmets, let's say that there is a safety standard.
Yes.
You do realize this is open cockpit.
Yep.
You don't, now they have the halo, but they don't have a windshield. So the biggest cause of that is impact.
Okay.
So the helmet is destined to protect them
Yeah.
Against certain type of impacts.
Yeah.
That's in a nutshell.
Okay. Okay. What made you get into helmet production in the first place?
Oh, that's a long story, but that was actually the father of my children was a racer, and
Okay.
that made us look into helmets and realize that there's nothing here.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So you started the business in Belgium, produced them in China,
yes,
and you moved everything to Bahrain.
yes. Actually, Bell is an American brand,
Okay.
and it was founded in the 50s in the village of Bell. So some people think that Bell is from Belgium, but actually no.
Okay.
And it's a very, very, very big company. It is currently the bicycle and motorcycle division belongs to Vista Outdoor Sports, which is a group quoted on the Nasdaq market. There's 2.5 billion turnover,
Okay.
and comes from NASA. So it's really, really big. We acquired in 99. We acquired the rights to auto racing.
Okay.
So that's specifically 4 wheels with an engine and capable of certain speeds.
Yes. Yes. How much would one of these helmets cost?
Oh, that's also a trick question. I mean, you can buy the off-the-shelf helmets for auto racing that would be valued at. A good helmet would start at 400 to 500 euros.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you go to the custom-made Formula One helmets, like if we have to go through head scanning, at the time when I was leading the company, your first investment for a first year for a famous driver, where we had to make all the molds and do the research and tool up, I would say an investment for a Formula One driver was 100,000 the first year.
Wow.
And then after that, every helmet was like 8,000 euros.
Okay. Okay. And you must have you've met a lot of these drivers, right? So
Yes, I did.
Sorry.
No.
Any? I mean, I'm not a Formula One fan. I've never been to Formula One, and that's silly because I've been living in Bahrain for 5 years. I should have gone, but there's the thrill of the race and so on, and the personalities of the drivers. Have you got any interesting stories to tell about the drivers you've met?
Oh, I've got so many interesting stories, but I'm also bound by confidentiality.
Of course. Okay. Okay.
But for me, one of my biggest influences was Ayrton. Ayrton was the first driver that we got, Ayrton Senna.
Okay.
And he was a huge inspiration to always be better.
Okay.
And then, of course, we worked with every big name, mostly in the industry. We worked with almost all of the world champions, like Michael Schumacher, like Kimi Raikkonen, like Jack Villeneuve, like you name it. I think Mansell was the only one that never tried Bell. Nelson Piquet. Yeah. And then most recently, Lewis, who's a little bit of a maverick in the Formula One paddock, but who's, when you get to know him a little bit, one of the most amazing human beings I've met.
Yes.
Incredibly inspiring.
Yes, yes.
But there's so many. I really, I think I have a soft spot for Kimi, because Kimi, I know Kimi also outside of Formula One and his wife, and I have a very good friendship with him. Jack, I know Jack very well.
Yes.
And Lewis is a more private person, because Lewis has basically achieved star status.
Yes.
But Lewis is really quite special to me too.
Yes. I lived in Finland for 7 years, and I went to Kimi Raikkonen's 21st birthday party.
Oh.
a long time ago. I moved to Finland in about 2000, so it must have been about 2000. I don't know, early days. But also Mika Häkkinen was also there, and there was an amazing party in a castle in the middle of just north of Helsinki. And the difference between the two drivers in their personalities was very funny, because Mika Häkkinen was so quiet, and I mean really kept himself to himself pretty much, you know. And Kimi was really lively, and I really enjoyed meeting him. It was a fantastic party. And I remember we had free access to the wine cellar, and we opened a bottle of wine that was discovered on a sunken Russian ship. Oh gosh, it was very old and very nice.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, it was a really wonderful party. So you sold the company in 2016?
No. I left the management of the group.
Okay.
I remained a sort of consultant to the investors at the time.
Yes.
And then in January last year, believe it or not, we sold the company to a big industrial Italian industrial group that was specialized in auto racing, and it made all of its senses for them to acquire a helmet brand with the image and prestige of Bell.
Yes. Was it a sad day for you to do that?
It was very hard because Bell was basically my baby. I mean, we launched it. We went through all these phases of expansion and setbacks and success, and every time that we gained the confidence of a driver, because basically these guys have to trust you with their lives.
That's right.
If you're not good with your helmet, they could die.
That's right. That's the big deal.
And every time that we had a driver trusting us was a special day for me. And for me to leave that, yes, that was actually very hard.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Yes.
But like everything in life, there is progress. And for me, I think it was the best opportunity and the best chance.
Okay. So the timing was right.
The timing was right.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what have you been doing ever since?
So I have my own consultancy company. I've been asked by people that know me to advise and consult them on a number of things, which could be restructuring of a company, which could be brand placement, which could be a number of things, because as CEO of an international group, you'll get a little bit of hands-on experience at every level. And I really enjoyed that. And I've also went into a healthy lifestyle, like working out early every day with an amazing trainer I have here.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at opening a small shop here in Bahrain. I'm influenced by one of my good friends, which is an amazing Bahraini Emirati lady. And she has a jewelry brand here which is called House of H, if I can make some advertising for her. She has these amazing products. She's in Sivmont. She's been inspiring me to look at it and say, Martina, you're so good at those things. Why don't you launch, with your experience, a couple of brands that you've been consulting on, and you could do something in it. It could be a nice occupation for you. I'm at a point in my life where I welcome a challenge, but I'm not exactly looking at working 16 hours a day anymore like I did with Val.
Yes.
And I have two amazing kids. My son just got married. I like to travel. So I'm enjoying life, and Bahrain is the perfect place for that.
It is, yeah. Bahrain's such a different, I mean, I lived in Dubai years and years ago when Dubai was tiny, you know. But Bahrain has a certain character, and it's so relaxed here. And
oh, I love it.
Yeah, and also the way that it's normal to have Bahraini friends. You know, it's just normal. The integration and the way that people live together is just normal. And that's not the case in other Gulf countries, from my experience, you know.
No. And also for me, I have a semi-diplomatic status here.
Yes.
So it's also when you're at that level in Bahrain, life is amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. Have you been able to travel very much recently because of the virus? Have you traveled?
No, I haven't traveled in the last year and a half. But I'm getting itchy feet because with Bell at the time, I was every week I was in a plane.
Yes.
I mean, I traveled to races. I had to go to either the factories, the companies. We had offices in the US. We had offices in Hong Kong, Macau, a factory in China. We were represented worldwide. So yeah, I'm starting to miss it, but I'm ready.
Okay. So Bahrain's your home. You're staying here for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
No plans to go back to Belgium?
No. The Belgian weather has gotten the better of me, and you know, Bahrain wins really hands-on, far above everything.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, most people, when you say you live in Bahrain or the Middle East, they say, how is that for a you know, a Western woman in the summer? And actually, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I have this freedom. I have service which you can't find in Europe anymore.
Yeah.
You have beautiful sceneries. We haven't been able to go to the coastline here, unfortunately, during this drive, because I wish that the people could see.
Yeah. So you, as a businesswoman, you have built something from the ground up. You've seen it flourish, all the pains of the ups and downs of a business. What would your advice be to someone starting a business with a vision? What would your advice be?
So first of all, I think the most important thing is to believe in yourself and believe in your vision. Because if you let other people talk you down, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Second, be thorough and do a very good feasibility study, because you may believe in your dreams, but they may not be realistic. So, but when you have a good feasibility study and you learn that your project is actually feasible, don't give up. Keep fighting. Don't focus on your weaknesses and don't focus on your neighbors and the competition. Just be the best you can be, because there's always going to be somebody next to you, and it doesn't matter who that person or your competition is. Okay, keep an eye on the competition, but just be the best you can be.
Yes, yeah, that's a good answer. It's been great to have you in the car, Martina.
Thank you so much. I got my shoulder a little bit burning.
Yes, the weather's still, it's on the edge of getting hot. It's not too bad right now, but we're expecting the heat to come any day soon, right?
Okay.
So Martina, thank you so much for coming in the car. It's been great to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Carter. It was a pleasure.